An employee was scammed by his CFO out of 25 million USD during a video call. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Well, this happened to one employee at Arup, one of the UK's top engineering professional services in 2024. But this time is different from any other scam story you have heard. The CFO on the call was not real. It was an AI-generated deepfake. This changes the way we look at security across our organizations. Let's break down what happened. A finance employee at Arup received an email from his CFO stating that they needed to urgently transfer a hefty amount. Initially, he was skeptical, but he was later persuaded that this wasn't a scam. After the email, the worker joined a Zoom call with the CFO and some other colleagues, and everything felt normal. The CFO was talking and his colleagues were nodding, and it felt real. So the employee was convinced, and he made a total of 15 transfers worth $25.6 million in a single day. But the CFO was not real, nor were the colleagues. Every character was an AI-generated deepfake built from publicly available video and audio recordings of Arup's actual executives. Now, why is this concerning? This is because Arup, an 18,000-person global engineering firm, had top-notch security infrastructure. Yet, none of the tools could detect this scam. You know why? This is because it was not a cyber attack, but rather psychology weaponized with AI. If such a deepfake scam can happen at that scale, imagine what your team is up against. Hey guys, I'm Swarnendu, and after having worked across enterprise AI security with Fortune 500 teams, I'll tell you straight, every team thought they had security figured out until something broke. Because loopholes are there everywhere, just like Arup. No passwords were stolen, no firewall was breached. This scam relied on something simpler: trust. It had a known face, and the security system wasn't trained to differentiate between an AI lookalike and a real person. Today, we'll be going through the entire case, how it happened, how it could have prevented, and what you can do to ensure you are not the next case study. Every material used to create the deepfakes was publicly available. The scammers could get the data from YouTube videos, press conferences, team meetings, and keynote footages. The executives unknowingly handed over everything the scammers needed. So how does this deepfake work? You have two models. One generates the fake face and voice, and the other keeps refining it until it looks real. This back and forth is what makes the modern deepfake tools so convincing and dangerous. In this case, the scammers didn't send a pre-recorded video, they joined a video call and spoke directly to the employee while the deepfake was running in real time. The CFO and the team were reacting, responding, and holding a natural conversation. This is what made it believable. The truth is, these tools are cheap and some of the basic ones are free. It's not sophisticated technology. Some popular voice cloning tools are available under 10 USD, and the deepfake video software can be easily downloaded. Arup's own CIO, Rob Craig, tried this himself, and within 45 minutes, he had a working deepfake of himself ready. The email would have been suspicious. The attackers knew this, and their next stage of the plan was ready. The video call wasn't the plan B, it was the original plan. Arup's security wasn't weak. They had firewalls, multi-factor authentication, endpoint protection, and access controls. Each system was up and running on the day of the attack, but the scam worked around everything. The traditional system was constructed to protect the networks, data, and credentials. The attack bypassed all of it. There was no malware attack, no intrusion attempts, and no suspicious login. The scammer just walked in through the front door wearing a familiar face. Their legacy fraud system was there to flag anomalies like usual transaction amounts, suspicious IP addresses, and login patterns. They wouldn't question whether a person authorizing a transaction is a real person or not. So this judgment was left to the employee, who had every reason to believe that the transaction request was authentic. And there was no system to confirm the transfer request through a separate independent channel. That single point of trust is where the entire $25 million walk out the door. Arup was not an isolated incident, it was just one that made it to the headlines. Deepfake fraud has gone up to 3000% since 2023, while most teams are still dealing with the last year's threats. The AI written phishing emails look genuine and pass through the scam filters easily. On the top of that, the visual cues your teams were trained to spot no longer exist. Fraudsters are now creating synthetic identities with fake documents, photos, and history. And the verification system were never designed to catch something that never existed before. By 2026, 30% of the companies will consider their identity verification unreliable because of deepfakes. Arup had more than 18,000 employees and an advanced security system. They still fell for it and still haven't been able to recover a single dollar. If you think your team is ready, think again. Arup thought the same. So the question is, who figured this out and what did they do differently? HSBC and JPMorgan both had outdated rule-based systems with multiple false positives. And with fraud tactics evolving faster than rules could be updated, they were looking at a serious concern. That's when they shifted their entire strategy. They stopped asking, does this transaction look genuine, and started asking, does this behavior match what we know about this person? This single shift from detecting anomalies to predicting human behavior changed everything. HSBC monitored 900 million transactions monthly, and with the introduction of AI-powered behavioral system, the false positive dropped by 60%. In fraud, time is everything, and by the time a traditional system detects it, the money is already moving. JP Morgan's AI can detect fraud 300 times faster, and it alone is the biggest contributor to their $1.5 billion in reported AI value. So the giants train their people and their AI to make faster, high-risk decisions. And it worked because the architecture supporting it was designed to match the scale of the trade. I have put together a stack for you, and this is how it looks in practice. Step number 1, build a behavioral profile for every user in your system. Every person has a certain pattern: the way they type, log in, how much they transfer, which device they log in on, and the time of the day they are active. Behavioral analytics tracks those regular patterns and creates a profile for that user. The moment something changes, an unusual login hour, a different device, or an abnormal transaction, the system flags it. The idea is not to detect fraud, but to understand what is normal and what stands out. Step number 2, detect deepfakes before the call even begins. By the time deepfake is on, the first barrier has been breached. Now the detection tools will look for synthetic signatures. They will scan for unnatural blinking, uneven facial features, audio inconsistencies, and pixel level anomalies which a normal human eye cannot detect. These tools must be active before the interaction starts, not after something is detected. Step number 3, verify every large transaction through a separate channel. Any large financial transaction or sensitive authorization must not be approved via a call or the same email thread. It must be verified through a separate channel. A 2-person team must be there where one will approve the transaction and the other will share an OTP. This process alone could have prevented the Arup attack before a single dollar moved. Step number 4, retrain your fraud models regularly or they will fall behind. You cannot expect the AI that was updated 6 months ago to protect you from any recent attacks. This fraud tactics changes every day, and that's why your system must be updated with the latest data. Keep feeding it with latest transaction data, new fraud cases, and new behavioral patterns. This is not a one-time job. You need a small team to monitor the model's performance, feed the latest data, and also maintain a process to retrain when accuracy drops. If you are using static models, check their expiry dates. Fraudsters update their techniques regularly. Your model needs to do the same. Step number 5. Always keep a human making the final call. AI models are fast and consistent, but you need a human to make the final decision. AI flags inconsistencies, surfaces relevant context, and presents it clearly. The main idea is to give the human enough information to make the correct choice. Your security system is built around protecting the systems, and it still matters. But now you must be ready for a very different type of attack. AI frauds don't attack the system, it attacks the human decisions, and the most attacks were never designed to cover this. Arup's firewall were up, their MFA worked, even their endpoint protection was running. But none of them mattered as the attack never went to them. I'm not asking you to replace your current stack, just add an intelligence layer on the top of it. This layer will understand behavior, detect synthetic content, and flag what traditional rules couldn't. If you act on this now, you are solving the problem that most of your competitors haven't even identified. Arup didn't lose the $25 million because of their system was inefficient. They lost it because they were not ready for the attack. And you know what the scary part is? No one even saw it coming until the money was gone. Now I will leave you with one question. Does your finance team know what to do if that call happens tomorrow? That's all for the video. If this video made you think twice about your current security setup, please tell me your biggest concern in the comment section below. I have more coming up in this space. Subscribe for more breakdowns on how AI is used and misused in the real world. Thank you.